quite early in the morning here, so just wanted to say thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. Thanks for your thumbs up on the video if you find these useful. Really appreciate all the feedback you're getting and the dialogue. Like I said, it's just trying to share my knowledge of what I'm doing here. Been working hard on this 1975 Hughes 35 North Star 1500, and I've made a lot of progress over the last few years, and now I'm working on the inside, the interior, and just tackling one step at a time here. So it's slowly coming together, and I think once we're done, we're going to be starting to do our the plan is to journey south and start visiting some doing some traveling and visiting some remote locations. I'm looking forward just to get out and travel, actually. The whole COVID lockdowns and everything else, it's not been easy just to even get things done, but I think people are feeling cooped up. So I think some travel would be good for a lot of people. So anyways, that's kind of the plan. I was planning to go in the fall, but I tell you, with COVID and everything, it's just derailed everything. So I don't think I'm going to get through the boat repair projects this year. But next winter, there's a couple key things that I really want to get done here. So I've got this summer, this winter, and then next, say, spring. And then I think that somewhere in the mid to end summer, start taking the boat south. I think that would be the goal. So if we can get enough done by then, that would be great. I can fix some things, I think, as we go too, but I want to do, there's a bunch of little things, like these light lions are original. I just want to redo them all. I still have a few more halyards to run back. I'd like to put a couple winches. I have them already, but I just want the winches installed on the mast, so that way if I'm at sea and I want to do something up at the mast, I can. So just like there's a bunch of like little things, but the big one is the interior. So I want to finish the fiberglassing, the painting, make it feel like home, have cupboards with doors that close, places to put everything. Anchor light, cabin lights, and fridge right now. This is my little 6.5 inch winch handle. This is the smallest one that I could buy, 8 inches, and you can see the difference here, 2 inches. But this one, when I turn it, it actually hits. It hits the Dodger piece. So what I did is I had this other one, and I cut it, and then we welded that up. I had the guys over at Rangeview do that for me. They did a good job. And now I've got a winch handle. It's a little smaller, so if there's general stuff, I think it's going to be fine. If I really need to put some power on that, I can still go and do the back and forth thing. These are dual action winches, but I wanted to have that ability up here. So now that I've relocated these winches, these used to be actually over here, making it even worse. So I pulled the winch back here, I made this whole mount, and then I added one here on the second side. This winch here was actually up here, and like, look, you couldn't really use it effectively. And then back here were cleats where you tie the rope. So I've switched this to clutches, and I've got room here still. I built these clutch platforms, but I've got room here for one more. I probably could fit one more in here if I needed to, so I could have 6 per side. But what's missing up front right now is the spinnaker halyard. So that's actually one thing I'm not convinced of. Like, I probably want to keep them up front, because for example, well, except for maybe the spinnaker line, I don't know. But for example, my drifter, I want to tack on. So I have to go up there anyways to connect it all in. So what's the difference about just pulling it up there? Aside from, as soon as you pull it up, you got to run back here to do the lines. right, or the sheets, or however you want it, the controlling sheets here. So that halyard makes sense to me. But I actually have another one, which is you know what? I don't actually know what it's for because there's nothing else that I have up there. But I do have a baby stay that I took off right now because I wanted to have a little bit more. Well, I needed to finish some deck work and it was just in the way, so I just kind of plugged the holes and away I went. But I left the holes on the inside, so I knew exactly where they were. And the way that it was set up before, it was a true baby stay. It had anchors, like big plates in behind, on the inside, in the bow, in the V-berth. But that it could would be good for a hank-on storm sail or a stay sail. And I have a halyard that goes up only 3/4 up the mast. It doesn't go all the way up, so that would actually be just above the baby stay. So I think that's what that's for. Is that if I had a storm, then I could, you know, hoist up something up the baby stay and connect it, you know, at a connection point, because I have a number of connection points that I filled in, but I didn't. I wanted to bring as much as I could back here, so there's still a few things. Reefing lines, I don't have reefing lines back here, so I still got a few things that I want to work out how I want to do them. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I appreciate again your thumbs up and subscribing to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Working on the first of the few cupboard doors. I'm just going to try something. Is the electrical panel door, so I've got kind of like the piano hinge style on the bottom. So what I did was I cut it out. I cut out this inside, and it basically fits inside the square. And then I traced out 16 millimeters around it, and then I'm epoxying the two together. So that way the door will fit in however I want to open it or close it. I haven't decided yet, but with the piano hinge, I think I'm going to put it on the bottom and then put a clasp on the top. The door will fall down and have a couple springs, and then it'll act like a bit of a ledge, so if you want to put stuff on it while you're shifting things around, you can do that. I think that's the way I'm going to try it first. And then so I made the outside of it with the same skinning material that I have here. It's like a 3/16 plywood. So that is actually going to be bigger than the gap. So it will cover up that little bit by 16 mils. So taking a look at this, we'll see how close I am, but this is 10, 20, 30, 36. So 16 mil should be fairly close. So maybe I might want to make these ones like 14 mil. But anyways, this one here doesn't have any matching. There's no door that'll go up against. So basically I just want to have enough to cover. I'm unsure on the bottom because with the piano hinge, it will open and it's pretty tight, so the bottom rim might not allow it to bend, so I might have to trim off the bottom layer. So basically I'll be just enough to cover the hinge after I get it installed, and then I think that will allow it to fold and close properly. I finally got the Blue Sea Systems circuit panel. I gave up waiting on the local store to have the one that I wanted. Maybe a bit of a political statement, but I don't like the I'm just saying that I don't like the all the political statements on the shopping. Like, I shop because I want the product, not because I want to be told what political affiliation to be with. So I've been boycotting a lot of the online stores, but I gave up because just with the pandemic I haven't had much supply in my local store. So I caved in on this one. I just want to get this finished. I haven't decided yet in terms of colors, but I think I'm just going to go with white. And then I'm going to do an accent trim, maybe in a wood color like this one here. Just I kind of like this trim, so I might just epoxy that and then varnish it So we'll see. You know what, I might want to just do it white too, and then my, color it, my accent colors. I don't know, I'm not big on colors and things. I guess sometimes I am and sometimes I'm not. But that's kind of the steps that I've got left. So I'm going to let this outer, or the door, cabinet door, glue itself together, and then I'm going to cut out the hole for the Blue Sea Systems panel. And then once I have that out, I'm going to install it in here and get rid of that electrical mess that I have down there. So I'm going to straighten that out. So we'll just first try my brainchild here and see what happens. So I'm working on the cabinet doors today. I'm just taking the weights off of the cabinet door that I put together. So that's kind of the idea. So essentially what I did is I just epoxied this 3/16 plywood on top of the 1/2 inch plywood. And I made myself some templates for cutting out 3 electrical panels on it. And they will face in this way. So I'm going to start with this one. Well, we got some thunder outside. Storm's coming in. I've actually got to get to Toronto to pick up some supplies. So I'm just trying to get this done before I go. It's still fairly early in the morning. They're pretty small screws, so I'm just hand screwing them in. Not going to make much impact here. Alright. And then I'm going to put that in at the bottom there and see what happens. Oh, feeling a little bit better about this. What do they call that? A dry fitting? That's what I'm doing right now. So if the door can close and I don't see my gaps, I'm going to probably need more than 8 circuit breakers. Here, so I made 3. So this one's going to be the AC, this one's the DC. I don't have a lot of room for a clasp or anything, but I might be able to sneak a magnet in there. It might be tight. Just cutting it close, so let's see how this fits. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's like awesome. Yeah, I can't see the hinge at all. That's looking really good. Pretty good here. I can't see the seam. That's going to open up fine. So the only thing I'm missing is click it in, click it out. So if you can imagine up top here, I'll have kind of the same thing, but it's either they'll lift up, go to the right. I think these ones here I'm going to make them lift up. The water line has actually significantly increased, so I must have taken, I don't know how many pounds out of the boat, but so you can see the gray down at the bottom. Since taking everything out, like the old engine, the fuel tanks, I still got to put the water tanks back in, but I gutted all the bulkheads. And the brown, right between the bottom, the big brown stripe and the gray, that's actually where the water line was. So that's significant, just slightly below. So I probably gained 2-3 inches. And here at the back, you can see that that's pretty significant underneath there. 3 inches maybe, 2 inches. So I'm pretty happy about that. Rain's starting to come down. I don't know if the storm's going to blow by. It's blowing fast, but we got another one over there. Anyways, we'll carry on. I'm going to cut that hole out now. Need my drill to drill a pilot hole. And lightning. Right. Go there. Can't see any of the holes. That's awesome. So here I have got my DC. I'm going to make a DC expansion, so the exact same panel here, and then over here will be the AC. And I think that will be good. That should be enough switches. So right now I've got 8, so that'll give me 16 switches. Like I think as I add some things in, I'm not too sure what they're going to be yet. Is I think maybe my problem. I want a water maker, hot water heater. Those are the two things, big things. So those are. This is definitely going to be exciting. All right, we're almost there to starting to use the new electrical panel. That is awesome. That is smoking. I'm really liking that. So we got the positive and the negative. There you go, first light, anchor light. And the pivot point, the way I'm just managing this is I'm just putting some these little wire clips, and I'm just running the wires through them so that way they just stay tidy, and I'll, if I need to get a bigger one, I'll get a bigger one, but right now that's, I think, seeming to work out okay. And then as I fold it up, you can see it doesn't bind, nothing moves. So you don't move it too often, but that way I can put it up and not worry about it. This is my running lights here next, so I'm going to do that one next. Alright, old panel out. Well, I'm just going to close off on this video. I'm pretty happy with the way that this turned out. It's looking good. I just got to get my my latch on the door here, but the door is functional. I got my panel in, and right now I got the anchor light, running lights, main cam lights, and the spreader lights on. I need to pick up some breakers, but I've got sailing instruments and electronics is the only two things left, and fridge. So I actually have one spare. I might put the VHF separate, but I don't think so. I think I'm just going to put electronics and sailing instruments. So sailing instruments, electronics, and refrigerator. So those are the, I'm still working on the cleanup. I'm moving one wire at a time, and I'm getting them, all the wires kind of bundled in nicely so that they're all tight. And just basically taking one wire out, running it through the loops, and then putting it in the right spot. And it's slowly kind of clean this up, this area. So pretty happy about that. And then the other thing, which is a big deal, this has been up here for almost 2 years. DC panel is gone.